I'm not even joking. The second that the Braves won the World Series, you guys started spamming my comment section, pretty much begging me to rank the top 10 to 15 free agents going into the 2022 MLB season. But today, we're going to do even better. The wait is over. We're going to rank the top 25 free agents going into 2022, and I could not be more excited. These dudes are going to get paid, and they deserve to be as well. Now, because there are 25 players, I'm going to have to go ahead and put on my glasses because I have a full script. I have a lot of stats to read off to you guys. It's going to be juicy. Coming in at the number 25 spot, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump straight into it. In my opinion, Raisel Iglesias is making the list after a career year in 2021. He set career highs in strikeouts per 9, walks per 9. He has a combined 2.61 ERA and 2.58 FIP over his last 93 innings pitched. There was one time in the season where he was brought in with, I think, 1 out and the bases were loaded, or maybe it was 0 outs. He struck out the side and then got the save in the 9th inning. Raisel Iglesias, he is going to be special for a team like the Phillies. Maybe he stays with the Angels, or a lot of people have been considering maybe he's a setup guy for Liam Hendricks and the Angels end up trading for Craig Kimbrell. So is that going to happen? Who knows? Eduardo Rodriguez is coming off a kind of weird season because if you look at his 4.74 ERA, you would think that he was not very good. But in my opinion, it was slightly deceiving because he had a 3.32 FIP that is fielding independent of pitching. Essentially, how good was he as a pitcher without defenders, which 3.32 is really good. It was a career best, in fact, so I think that he's going to be even better in 2022. His secret, it's very simple. He's able to limit hard hits, so his exit velo is really good, and that is promising going forward. Old man Jenkins himself, Nelson Cruz, is coming in at the 23rd spot. He has been a menace for years, but at age 40, he finally started to show some wear with the Rays after he was traded from the Twins to Tampa Bay. In his final 55 games with the Rays, he had a 283 on base percentage, and he ended up going 3 for 17. He did have a home run, but 3 for 17 in the ALDS versus the Red Sox. They were expecting him to essentially be Barry Bonds, and he was anything but that. So it's unfortunate, but he still makes the list. Brandon Bell, oh my gosh, check out his stats over the last 148 games played, 38 ding-dongs, and almost 400 on base percentage with an insane 165 OPS plus, where the average is 100, so he was 65% better than the average hitter over his last 150-ish games. He is a decent defender at best, but the only reason why he's not a little bit higher is because of his health concerns as well as age. He can't really play a full 150 game schedule, and he's almost 35 years old, so that's why he's a little bit lower on today's list. I am ranking Kyle Schwarber just ahead of Brandon Belt because he is entering his prime, and he just finished a stupid 21 campaign in which he had a combined 140 OPS plus between the Nationals and the Red Sox, and he was top 5 to 10% in exit velocity, barrel percentage. When Kyle Schwarber connects with the baseball, it goes a very long way, and I think that he can help out a lot of fringe playoff teams or teams that are ready to go for the World Series as soon as 2022. Could you imagine if you went to a team like the Marlins or the Tigers, a young and up-and-coming team with his veteran leadership? I think that would be a lot of fun. So those were the guys that really made me push to make this video 25 players deep, because at the number 20 spot, Anthony Rizzo, I think that he is going to be good, but you can make an argument that Kyle Schwarber and Brandon Belt might have a higher offensive ceiling going into the next season, so you could argue that these guys could be flip-flop. But Anthony Rizzo, he is cracking the top 20 with his world-class defense, and he's still top 5% in max exit velo. His average exit velocity is going down over the years, but I still think that he can be a pretty good contributor for a playoff team. Yes, his walks have dipped a little bit along with his pop, but Anthony Rizzo, he's still a really good defender. He gets on base, and he can hit anywhere from 20 to 25 home runs. That's very valuable. You can't really find that often at first base. One of the wild cards of the video, I cannot believe that I'm ranking him ahead of Anthony Rizzo, but the last time that I saw Noah Syndergaard on the bump, he was really good. In his first 720 big league innings, he had a 2.92 combined FIP, and he was striking out nearly 9 hitters per 9 innings, and I really think that the only thing holding Noah Syndergaard back is his health. He pitched in 2021, which is a good sign, so the only question about Noah Syndergaard is not his stuff, it's really his durability, which is the same question that we have for Carlos Rodon, who is coming in at the 18th spot. Mr. Rodon, over his last 175 innings, has a combined 3.19 ERA and a 2.94 FIP, which was helped in large part because of his his 2021 Cy Young caliber season. He was so good. Now, the White Sox did not offer him a qualifying offer, so they don't think that he's worth $18.4 million, and that's because his health is a big-time question mark. He's only pitched 160 innings once in his career. That was back in 2016. So the only reason why Noah Syndergaard and Carlos Rodon are not ranked higher is because of their injury past. Moving on over to another positional player, we have CT3 Chris Taylor. I think he was the MVP of the NLDS or the wild card. I don't remember, but he was so good in the playoffs, at least in the NLDS and stuff like that. Either way, he is a decent defender with surprisingly elite speed at the ripe age of 31 going into 32 years old. If we take a look at the raw stats, he had a 114 OPS plus, and that's dating back to 2017. Again, he's 31 years old, so he is nearing the end of his prime years, and I think that's going to factor into a few teams' ideas of, should we give him a lot of money? Maybe not, because he's going on 32 years old, but he's shown in the playoffs he can get the job done, and to a lot of teams, that's all that matters. Marcus Stroman has a career, not in 2021, but a career 3.62 FIP, which spans 1,000 plus innings due to his elite chase rate and his elite defense. I think he's won a Gold Glove. If not, he almost won it in 2021. Just unfortunately, the voting system is very weird, but he was elite as a defender, as a starting pitcher. To me, Marcus Stroman, he is an innings eater. He is very solid. He is not going to be a Cy Young Award candidate every single year for the next 5 years. But is he going to be a top 20 starting pitcher and an ace for like 70, maybe even 50% of the teams spanning Major League Baseball? I think so. Hopefully you did not forget that this man existed, Justin Verlander. Yes, his last name does help in this instance, but he just had a bullpen, which I think almost every single team in Major League Baseball showed up for, where he was throwing 94 to 98 miles per hour. That is all you really have to hear. Justin Verlander, he should be healthy. He's looking healthy. And he's Justin Verlander, a future first ballot Hall of Famer. Of course, he's going to make today's list, but because of the age, because of the recent Tommy John, he's not ahead of Starling Marte, at least to me. Starling Marte at the 14th spot. I mean, this is kind of easy because he's an incredible defender who led Major League Baseball in stolen bases with 47, and he had a crazy 137 OPS plus. I'm actually surprised I did not rank him ahead of our next player, Michael Conforto, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of having some regrets, but I just think the world of Michael Conforto, even though he had a down 2021. But shout out to Starling Marte. He had one of his best seasons in Major League Baseball, and a lot of people still give him guff because he was suspended for PEDs. He did that completely roid-free, at least I hope. So like I mentioned, Michael Conforto is our next player. He has a combined 134 OPS plus from 2017 until 2020. That is insane. And even though he had a down season in 2021, he still somehow managed a 344 on base percentage. Yes, his defense did slip a little bit, but in a normal year, Michael Conforto is one of the best left-handed bats in baseball. He's solid with the glove, and to me, I think that makes him just a little bit more valuable than Starling Marte because his offensive ceiling is a little bit higher. Actually, not a little bit. It's way higher in terms of just swinging the bat. But none of those guys can amount to Nick Castellanos, who is basically top 10% in all of the offensive metrics that you could possibly imagine. He's at the 12th spot because I think he's going to be limited to a DH spot, and if he's playing defense, he is horrific, like downright historically bad, but he's entering his prime. I think that he is one of the best bats available in this year's free agency. So Nick Castellanos not cracking the top 10, but he is lethal. Don't get me wrong, he's really good, just not top 10 to me. Clayton Kershaw, this is a very, very interesting case because the injury concerns have kind of caught up to him, but when he has pitched, he has been elite. His walk percentage and whiff percentage was still top 5 in 2021. He has a combined 3.1 ERA and FIP over his last 2 seasons. So to me, Clayton Kershaw, everyone is kind of writing him off. I don't understand why no one respects Mr. Kershaw. He's one of the best pitchers of our generation. To me, while he's not top 10 because of the age and the injury concerns, he's still very much usable and also borderline elite. Now, I think I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, the fact that I ranked Javier Baez over Clayton Kershaw, but that's because he's an everyday positional player, so I'm going to rank him just a little bit ahead because I think he brings more value based on the fact that he's going to play 140 to 150 times. Now, yes, it's obvious he has horrible plate discipline, but he has elite sprint speed, elite defense, and in terms of exit velocity, he is also elite. So to find that combination of good defense speed and exit velo, it's not easy. He had a 371 on base base percentage in his short time with the Mets. So if he stays with them, I kind of expect the same result, but probably with a whole lot more strikeouts. Robbie Ray is pretty much left-handed Marcus Stroman on steroids because I consider both of them to be innings eaters. So Robbie Ray, he does crack the top 10. He is probably going to be your 2021 Cy Young Award winner after coming off a special year. He had a 2.84 ERA. He has elite stuff, but he does get hit pretty hard, so he's kind of the opposite of Eduardo Rodriguez. Robbie Ray, he gets his outs by striking out guys and allowing people to make hard contact, but that hard contact, because of his spin and his nasty stuff, usually it goes to a defender for an easy out. So what do you guys make of Robbie Ray? Is he a fluke? Is he a one-hit wonder? What do you guys have to say about that? Kevin Gausman is my number 8 free agent going into 2022, and that's because he was top 10% in chase rate, and he doesn't allow too many free passes. I saw him live in person in the playoffs, and I just trust Kevin Gausman's stuff. He has a really good splitter. He has a combined 3.3 FIP over his last 350 innings. That's elite stuff. Kevin Gausman, honestly, he could be an ace for 90% of the ball clubs in Major League Baseball. Chris Bryant, while he did have a pretty solid 2021 with 25 home runs and a 124 OPS plus, his 2020 offensive season still kind of sits in the back of my head, and he plays horrid defense, so it doesn't help his case. But he's a Vegas boy, so I'm kind of being a little bit biased because Marcus Stroman, while I do think he's better, I honestly think that they could be tied going into 2022 because Marcus Semien, I don't know what it is about him, but can he repeat what he did? He should be able to, but just like Chris Bryant, 2020 kind of, it freaks me out. But then again, it was a short quarantine season. It shouldn't matter. But yes, we just hinted at him, the 2021 Gold Glove winner. A lot of people are upset that David Fletcher was snubbed, but you can make a case for both. Marcus Semien played great defense. He had 45 home runs, 15 stolen bases, a whopping 133 OPS plus. The only question, can he duplicate that for a team not named the Blue Jays when he has that much depth in the lineup protecting him? Let's say he goes to a team like the Angels. If Mike Trout can't stay healthy and if Shohei Ohtani can't be 2021 Shohei, is he going to have help? Is he going to have lineup protection? I guess that's a big question mark. The highest ranked pitcher in today's video, Max Scherzer, he cost himself his 4th Cy Young over his last few starts, but either way, he was sensational in 2021. He led the league in WHIP while basically striking out 12 hitters per 9 innings. He had a sub 2 ERA in his short stint with the Dodgers, and to me, I really hope the Dodgers re-sign him because he just looked comfortable. Because one other guy they might not get back is Corey Seager, and he is our number 4 ranked player today. Corey Seager, over his last, let's just call it 150 innings, has a combined 306 batting average with 34 doubles, 31 home runs, a 381 on base percentage, and a near 150 OPS plus, but he has missed a ton of time since 2018 with injuries. That's the only reason why he is not cracking the top 3, because I would put Freddie Freeman just ahead of him. The 2020 MVP, a future Hall of Famer with a career 138 OPS plus. He essentially has a 400 on base percentage since 2016. So Freddie Freeman just narrowly beats out Corey Seager, at least to me. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but Corey Seager, even though his ceiling is higher, I just don't know if I'm going to get 140 to 150 games out of him on a consistent basis. Trevor Story is coming in at the number 2 spot, yes, ahead of Freeman and Corey Seager. He had a down 2021, but I'm going to blame that on the Rockies because in large part, I think he had a down season because of his situation. He was going to get traded, then they decided not to trade him, so I think he kind of slowed down a little bit to preserve his health and his longevity going forward into a contract year. He's a walking 30 home run, 20 stolen base guy with elite defense, but he's not better than Carlos Correa, at least to me. Remember, these are my opinions. Carlos Correa won his first Gold Glove in 2021. He is entering his prime after an MVP type year, 60 plus extra base hits, a 131 OPS plus, and a 7.3 baseball reference. I mean, the list goes on about this guy. He can do it in the playoffs, and I really think that he is the best free agent going into 2022. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you did enjoy. If you disagree with any of my picks, or if I left out anyone or overrated one of these players, let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one.